Hi, this is Dr. Kerry Johnson. I hope you're doing well. I do these videos every couple of weeks right now from the economic crisis we're having with COVID-19 to make your conversations with clients more informative, more prescient, and a lot more supportive. There's a couple of things that we always talk about on these videos. Number one is to make at least 3 RPCs every single day. RPCs are revenue producing contacts. According to research, which we talk about all the time, I'm like a broken record, 89% of your clients care more about the relationship with you than they do about the fees, the commissions they pay. They want to hear from you, especially when they're scared. We often say that these phone calls need to be made about every 3 months. Right now, because things are so volatile and so scary for a lot of people, that these phone calls need to be made at least once a month. Number two, when you have these phone calls, these 3-month phone calls, now they're 1 month. Our model is always catch up, update, 5-step bridge, referral. Catch up on the family, update them on what the economy has done, what the economy may do, what the market has done, what the market may do. If you're not in a financial business, you might want to just talk about new pricing changes, new industry changes that could affect them, anything that's relevant to who they are. If you're a realtor, it could be home values impacted by COVID-19. If you're a mortgage broker, it could be rates. Anything that's going to be beneficial to that client. And of course, number 3 is always be prepared to use the 5-step bridge. The 5-step bridge is the way that we always talk about to listen people into telling you what their concerns are, recapping, trial closing, and then going for the referral. The referral sentences are, and again, this is all just review. Number 1, let them know how much you value the relationship. I really enjoy working with you. Number 2, give them a reason to help their friends. 83% of your friends and family are going to be totally dependent on Social Security. If you're, for example, in the solar business, you might want to say at least 90% of your friends and family are paying hundreds of dollars more than they need to in electricity every month. You get the picture. And number 3 is always the same. Who do you know who could benefit from some of the things we've done together or the relationship we've done together? If you do this, here's the important part. 38% of all the people you contact with RPCs are either going to give you business or they're going to give you a referral. 38%. These things are worth the time. Okay, here's some talking points for this period, the last 2 weeks. Number 1. There was a 9% contraction from Q1 until the end of Q2, which is the end of June. 9%. Now, some economists say there's a 32% contraction annualized out, but there is a 9% contraction from Q1, which is really interesting because it was the end of Q1 that we actually had the shutdowns. So that makes a lot of sense. The shutdowns had a much bigger impact than we thought, 9% bigger impact. The thing that's going to make it even more difficult is many states right now are saying that they're going to stay shut down until January. Now, when the shutdown was communicated to us in March, it was saying 2 weeks to a cure. And then it was 1 month to a cure. And some governors now are saying, we're not going to open anything up until there's a cure. So it's no longer we're going to reopen to deal with the economy. It's now we're going to find a cure. The good news about the cure is, though, that there are at least 6 vaccines that are in stage 3 trials. Remarkable how fast this is going. Now, the most remarkable part is HIV/AIDS still does not have a vaccine. No vaccine in the history of the world has been done in less than 18 months. This vaccine is probably going to be ready to give to people after stage 3 trials in less than 6 months. That's amazing. That's never been done before. Now, interestingly enough, Russia is planning on giving vaccines to at least 20 million people in September. They're not going to go through any efficacy trials. They have a 1-day, 24-hour approval process, and it's very suspect. In fact, in Russia, they only have a bar of 50% efficacy. In the U.S., we're looking for more like a 90% efficacy. What that means is 90% of the vaccines will work for what's called a lasting immunization. Even the flu will mutate, and we have to get vaccinated every year. Nobody quite knows this, but it looks like COVID-19 will be vaccinated much longer than the normal flu. And also, the second thing is therapeutics are having a much bigger effect. We were at 3% mortality rate on COVID-19. We're down to less than 2% currently with things like hydroxychloroquine, remdesivir, convalescent plasma. There's many other medications out that is driving the mortality rate down and down and down, which is really good for the economy getting back to where it was before. Number three, the stock market is supported only by the Fed's liquidity. This is really important. The reason is because the economy is so bad, we only have a certain sector that's doing well, and that's the tech sector. Facebook is having a banner year. Amazon is wonderful. Google took a loss, but that's probably going to be situational. Twitter is doing well. All these tech companies are doing phenomenally well. In fact, it was said that Jeff Bezos made $13 billion in one day because of Amazon stepping up during COVID-19. It's attracting money from all over the world into the U.S. Now, this is a bubble. The Fed is creating a bubble because of the injection of liquidity. All the other countries of the world are horrible. America's less bad than the economic environments of the rest of the world. And to prove that, gold has just jumped up dramatically. Gold has increased by 30% since the beginning of the year. Gold is always a fear trade. When investors think that we're going to have massive inflation, they buy gold. When they think there's going to be a coming economic collapse, they buy gold. So this is really important. If the Fed doesn't get this perfectly, if they don't taper at the right time, if they see inflation, if they don't modify these things at the right time, if the balance sheet gets too big, we'll see a massive amount of volatility. Investors that get very, very scared. So keep that in mind as you talk to clients. And don't forget, do not tell clients what to do. Ask them what their fears are and work through it with the 5-step bridge. Okay, so that's our economic report for the last couple of weeks. And we'll talk 2 weeks from now again. And make those phone calls. This is the most important thing you could do in your business right now.